mean, your handwriting. But the next person up is Sufi.
On my first year as a history teacher, I taught at a middle school. 12-year-olds are the worst age to teach. And I was 23, which is the worst age to be a teacher. My biggest problem was the class bully, Timur. He was only afraid of Arina, a girl who grew one head taller than everybody else. At the start of the year, Timur and Arina clashed and she beat him up with her pink backpack. And after getting beaten by a girl, Timur never took chances to bully girls again. But he still terrorized the boys. And I had to keep my eye constantly on him, which means that I neglected all other students. And since I was inexperienced and professionally stupid, I came up with arguably the dumbest solution in the history of teaching history. I asked Timur to stay after the class and offered him a deal. You don't have to come to my class, and I'll just give you a C. Really? He said, I agree, and he ran away before I could change my mind. Teaching without Timur was just amazing. And the children behaved like little angels. We discussed how the Mongols ruled over the Russians until Russian Tsar Ivan III refused to pay tribute and declared, the chicken that laid golden eggs for the Mongols has died. And as we were reviewing the lesson at the end of the class, suddenly Aslan, a farm boy who was so quiet that he had never spoken in my class before, suddenly he raised a hand. And I said, tell us, Aslan, why the Russians stopped paying tribute? He jumped up and said, because the chicken died. That made us all laugh and earned his first C in history. So after the class, I was sitting at my desk, blissfully entering grades into the grade book, and suddenly Timur strolls in, and he says, I wonder if you could give me a B. I said, you don't even deserve C. And he says, then I'm gonna come to the class. That's the most ridiculous blackmail I've ever heard of it. You know what? The free C is off and you coming back to class. So the next class, Timur's back and it's even worse than it was. I feel like I'm falling from all the way down from the cloud 9 to the 9th circle of hell. And at some moment I heard a knock on the door and I stepped out but nobody was there and I instantly walked back in and it was a mayhem. My first thought was that old fool Dante died that there was only 9 circles of hell. Timur was strangling somebody. The big girl Arina was beating up another boy, and even the chicken boy Aslan was standing at my teacher desk and riffling through the grade book. And suddenly I felt angry. I had never felt angry before, it was a completely new feeling for me. And I watched, mesmerized, I couldn't take my eye off how the anger rose in my stomach toward my chest. And it was this enormous power, like atomic bomb, or a nuclear mushroom cloud rising inside me. Wow, I thought, I could destroy the whole world with this. And suddenly then I snapped off and I realized that I was standing at my desk. And the whole class was absolutely quiet. I don't know how long I was off, but apparently something happened to my face that scared the bejesus out of me. And from then on, I never had issues with the class. Even Timur behaved and finished with B-. Aslan got a solid C, and Arina was a straight A student anyway. So that was the most angry and most powerful I ever felt in my life. But it was only a destructive power. There was nothing creative about it. And I had to enter into anger non-proliferation treaty with myself not to destroy the world. So on Thursday, come to Christopher's show. I was just looking at my calendar and realized that Christopher and I met 2 years ago when I first attended his story. And around this time, I thought he was so wonderful. I asked him if he could open for my first fringe shows here in Minnesota, here at the American School of Storytelling. And he just told his first story, but I thought we had similar style and he would be perfect to open for my shows. And he came up with 5 stories within several weeks to open for my 5 shows, 5 different stories. And within these 2 years, he developed over 30 stories and boiled it down to 2 shows. So the first show will be on Thursday, and the second show will be at the Fringe here at the American School of Storytelling. So on Thursday, he's going to tell about his teaching experience, and he inspired me also get stories about my own teaching experience. He'll be playing instruments. He plays 3 instruments, and I'll be also opening for him the same way as he opened for me a couple of years ago. So come and you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah.